Hi, welcome to my channel, A Comeback. My name is Kim Magical. Um, Today I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about Delphi, but I'm going to do that in, I think, another video after this because I don't want to get it in on this one because I'm going to talk about my father. I want to talk about my gift and when I knew I had it, what it was like growing up, and well, I'll just start and explain it to you and you'll understand. Um, my father was gifted. He just got things he would just know, and he did the automatic handwriting. Um, he did a lot of reading on Edgar Cayce. He's big on that. Ironically, my guides are cowboys. The group, I called them my cowboys, and they were with me from a very early age. From the first moment I can recollect, the youngest I was to remember it, they just have always been with me. And they have no names. I just call them my cowboys. They're just like my protectors. And growing up, I didn't understand. My father helped a lot. And my grandmother. My grandmother was psychic. She could see the auras around people. She just knew things and got things. Now, it wasn't like now. Here I am on the channel. I'm talking about different things. It wasn't like that back then. They just had the gift, and that was it. I just knew that they were unique. There was something different, and I didn't understand what was wrong with me. Why I just didn't fit in. I didn't fit in, and well, I didn't know what it was then. Now I understand. I was feeling the energies off others, like going into the store or anything, even school, and it freaked me out a bit. I didn't know how to, so I took that and I kind of just went into a shell, and I just kind of kept to myself. And then when I was 12, school was getting different then. It was starting to get more grown-up-y, and I would come home and I would talk about my day with my guides every single day. Well, when I was 12, I told them they had to leave, that I couldn't talk to them anymore. I was afraid. I was afraid of what people would say if they knew. Because back then, I mean, yeah, I was in a family, but not everybody was like that. And my mother came from a background, she was raised in a Pentecostal church, and they were very strict, and you couldn't even wear pants, you couldn't go to movies, they didn't have a TV set. So it wasn't like you had somewhere to go, because if you did, like my mom's mom, oh, she would have prayed over me and try to cast the demons, is what she would say. Because anything like that that's what it was from, in her opinion. So that's how she was. So I just asked them to go away, that I couldn't talk to them anymore, because if my friends found out, if anybody found out, if my teacher found out or anything, I felt, I don't know what I thought. Maybe I just thought I wouldn't be accepted. And I thought I'm different, and I didn't understand it. And so, you know, my father died at 42, and my world kind of, I was 17 when that happened. It kind of just, it was, it was really hard because, you know, I was really close to my dad. I was daddy's girl for sure. Um, and I could confide in my dad about anything. I could talk to him about that stuff. I can remember, oh God, I don't know how old I was, but I had this dream, and it was about this girl, and she got murdered in a field. And it freaked me out. What even freaked me more out is turning on the radio that morning and hearing that information. A body was found in a field. That freaked me out really bad. I was like, how did I know that? So, you know, I kind of, after my dad died, I kind of, you know, went back. And my first husband, he told me that speaking in tongues was of the devil and whatever. Well, think what you might, but I did get baptized in Jesus' name, and I did talk in tongues. Have no clue what I was saying, but I did. And so I will never deny that. I'm more of a spiritual person. I'm more, you know, I feel like I'm connected with my God source. Boom. I mean, I talk to him multiple times a day. Does that mean that it's going to church? I mean, you know, yes, I go to church sometimes, but I'm not one that goes regularly. You got it. I don't know why my tongue's being so. Anyways, but I'm very spiritual. I would not have gone through all the stuff that I've gone through in my life and made it. The loss of my 2 daughters. I had 3 marriages. Got married at 17. At 18, I was having my first baby, Sarah. Joy of my life. Wouldn't have changed it. I love her. She was a great gift. Didn't have her but 23 years on this earth, but I'm glad I had her for that 23 years. I was married maybe 5 years to him. He was abusive, and I met somebody, and I thought, well, he'll never do what my first husband did to me. We had a daughter together. That's Rebecca. And that's my other angel daughter. She's no longer with us either. And she was a year old, and he came home from work, and he said, I don't love you anymore. I'm leaving. Never saw that coming. Never. He never did anything bad to me. I mean, he wasn't abusive. The one thing he did, come to find out, he was having an affair with a gal he worked with. Um, so, a year after Rebecca was born, I was going through it again. And then I think it was 89. I married my third husband. I know, it sounds crazy. What am I thinking? I was married to him for 26 years. He ended up being the worst marriage. And I don't know. I think a lot of it was my girls. For the first time in my life, I was a homeowner, I had everything. I had a beautiful home, I had a swimming pool, I had a new car. And, for the outside world, you would think my life was, wonderful. It wasn't. It was horrendous, and I know without a doubt I would not be here. I was definitely divinely protected. I was. I don't know if I want to go on any more than that. Okay, let's go on to when my gifts came. I'd always been real open with my girls growing up, and we talked of a lot of things. We talked about, my girls knew about my feelings and my thoughts on the afterlife and what I believed, and that I was a little different. And what was fun, they were always, I would know stuff, and they were like, how did you know that? I just know. But because of the marriage I was in, the abusiveness and the womanizing, so many. It tore me down. It really tore me down. And then, my daughter Sarah was 23 when she went to heaven. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, sorry. Went to heaven. I started really, that's what started me back on the journey to finding myself again. And I made her room. I painted it. I made it to my meditation room. And I started meditating again. I started looking for those signs and getting them from my daughter. Not like now, though. Oh, no. Not like now at all. And just then when I lost my second daughter, I went back more into my spirituality, and if I hadn't had that and been able to draw from, I don't know if I could have got through it, because it was really, really, really rough. But I did. And then I got divorced. I started over. It was really hard. Lost everything. I don't have a home. I live in a little tiny apartment with my grandson, who I'm raising. I took on that responsibility wholeheartedly in the blink of there was no question. Um, in the last 7 years, I've healed greatly. And this is where Misty Brady comes in, Katrina. I was stuck, and I was just stuck. And I needed some help, some guidance. And Katrina, God love her. God bless her. She took my girls on, and she did a reading on each of them. And because of that, and because of what she's helped me with, I was able, sorry about my bra straps, guys. I was able to let go of that. I remember what she said to me. She said, don't dwell on how they left this world. That's not what's important. And it was so simple. It was like, boom. I was okay. I will never be able to thank Katrina enough for what she did for me. I will never forget it. I will always honor her. She's been my friend, my teacher, my mentor. And I love her dearly. And God bless you, Katrina. What you made, the difference you made in my life is so incredible. Because of you, I'm able to do this now. And my gift has come back, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And, sometimes I even have to, message my buddy up and say, Katrina, this is happening now. And she's so gracious and helpful. She's a true, true angel on earth. She's helped not just me, she's helped many. And what she does for missing children, she does this without asking for anything. And I don't think people realize how much energy it takes from you to do these things, to channel, to bring these messages. I love you, Katrina. Always. Okay, so now I don't have to, I can talk to my girls. They come and visit, like little chatterboxes. They come and visit often, and when things, Rebecca comes a lot when I'm working, like with, if I'm doing something with addiction, things like that. And if you don't know the story, it's one of my videos. Rebecca's story is her story, and then Sarah was my oldest. So those are their stories out there. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And now I've been able to trust again in the universe and my guides, and my father is my guide. One of my guides, my grandmother, my cowboys. Of course, my girls help so much. My father, I don't know how to explain this. My father, on the other side, he's a teacher. He assists souls that come over that need some help or having some difficulties. And so he That's what he does. He's a great teacher. I remember something. This was this was back when he just left this world. My grandmother had told me, because my grandma used to tell me all the time, your father's here. And I'd be at her house, and she told me that your father says where he's at is like being in a field of flowers with dew on them. Yet you walk through it and the dew doesn't get on you. He would, tell my grandmother things like that, and she would tell me. But the first contact my father had with me, can't even remember how old I was. I was pregnant with Rebecca, and my husband worked nights, and little Sarah was asleep, and I was in my room, and I heard this crash. I mean, crash. It sounded like, and I went in the kitchen. I couldn't find it. And I thought, did I really hear that? It really scared me. And I came out, and I was too scared to go back in the bedroom. So I went in the living room, and I was sitting in what happened to be my mother gave my dad's chair to me, a recliner rocking chair. And I was in that, and I was like, I must be imagining that. And then I can only explain, it was like somebody took a broom handle, and the broom, not the where you sweep part, but the hardwood, and they were taking it, and they were just hitting it on the floor. I mean, that's what it sounded like. At that moment, I got so scared. Little Sarah's little room was the dining room, and we made it into her little room. And I went and got her, and I was holding her with me in the chair. And she had a little wooden table and 2 little chairs. And I can only describe it as, it sounded like, like wood just like fracturing. It sounded like that her table and chairs just busted in a million pieces, and you could hear the cracking of the wood. That's what it sounded like. At that point, this girl was pregnant and all, big as could be, was out that apartment door and going down the steps and going out the front door as my husband was coming in. Absolutely freaked me out. I told him what happened. Of course, I know he thought, I've lost it. I talked to my grandmother the next day, and I told her what happened. And she started laughing. Right off the bat, she started laughing. And she said, that was your father. And so then I said, well, can you tell him if he does anything like that again, don't do it. Do something else. Because it really scared me. So I think in a way I was telling my dad then when it scared me. This is scaring me. But that was my first encounter with my father after he passed away. And I've had a lot more, probably in the last 7 years. Because in the last 7 years, I've done a lot of healing, and that's really when I started really tuning my gifts up again. And I've met so many great people that, have encouraged me to. But Katrina is my top one, and I love her dearly. And it's hard to explain the gift because you just know. I get pictures of things, words. It's just I just know. I just get it. It just pops in my head. I don't want this to be too long, but because I'm going to take a break, I want to come back and I want to talk about Delphi. And I'm gonna go into. I've talked about Delphi. I've done videos on Delphi. I'm going to talk about what I got. What I got. Some of the visions I won't share because they're pretty bad, but what I got into to Lee, and do I think they have the killer? And I will do that and get back with you. And I love you guys, and I thank you for sticking in with me, and you're just magical. My magical subs. I love you guys, and I'll see you shortly.